Hello?
Hi, Danny. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Great, great.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. Tell me your name and where you're calling us from.
I'm Tina. I'm calling you from Jaipur.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Tina. So tell me, what would you like to bitch about today?
So I would want to bitch about how fucked up dating scene is these days
Mm-hmm.
and how fucked up dating apps.
Like your dating scene, or everybody's dating
I feel
scene is
like
a
it's an
mess right
overall
now.
perspective.
Okay, cool. So your dating life right now is not going the way you wanted it to go. Am I right?
Yeah, true.
Awesome. Okay. I mean, not awesome that it's happening to you. I'm just like awesome that I understood it
Yeah.
correctly. Okay, but so what do you think is going wrong? What's happening that you do not like?
So basically, I feel like people have this habit of having newness in their life, even when they like
Mm-hmm.
everything about the person, including the physical, emotional, and mental compatibility. They just don't want to go
Mm-hmm.
ahead with it. They want to find newness in life, and I think that's what is
Okay.
the worst part about it.
So you're saying like everyone's addicted to the highs of a new relationship. Like,
Yeah, I mean, so
so
when
the.
the dating apps are there in the market, you get so many options in life. So you feel like if it's not
Mm-hmm.
even a slightest bit of adjustment or everything, they don't want to do that. They just want to switch to the new person, which is the saddest part. I feel that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so if I get this right, where you're meeting guys and you're going out on dates, then you like each other, things are going really well, and then suddenly they're saying it's not working out for you, for them.
Yeah, and the worst part about it is I'll just give you an example. So I went out with guys in
Mm-hmm.
Delhi also, wherein you have Delhi
Okay.
NCR as a complete whole, wherein you have Gurgaon, Ghaziabad, every bit of it. And
Mm-hmm. Sounds dreamy.
yeah, very dreamy. And I've lived it for good good years. But the thing is
Okay.
that, people there also, they are so much into newness. They'll just give you one thing. And I'm telling you about
But tell me
yeah.
something, like, Tina, what is it like to go out on a date with a guy from Delhi? Like, can you describe one of the dates that you've been on with a guy from Delhi? Like, is from the time that the date was proposed, was it by from your side or his side? And just tell me what happened, like, in very briefly. I just want to know what it's like.
Yeah, so basically, the guy told me that let's go out. And I think that's the best part about it,
Mm-hmm.
that you see each other in person and you talk about things, because chats and calls, these are just materialistic for that matter. So we just met and,
Yeah.
we had the discussion and everything. We went out on like 3, 4 dates. We had all the
So
physical
tell me one
attractions that
date.
we
One
wanted.
date.
Yeah.
What is the date like? What is the date like? So one date. Describe one of these
Okay,
dates.
so I went out on a date at a cafe first because I really wanted the
Uh huh.
guy, because there's a thing about Delhi guys. So I was like, let's just go out. We went
There are many things about Delhi, guys, but okay, let's let's start with the one you're ready to put on the table.
So
Okay.
basically, people say that Delhi guys already have their side chicks going on. They just want the new ones in
Okay.
the list to be added on. So I was like, okay, fine then.
Right. So you're saying if you hang on a second, don't just say stuff like that like it's normal and you're just like just not. It doesn't need to be addressed. So if you meet a guy from Delhi and if he tells you he's single, are you supposed to assume he's lying?
Well, it depends. I've had chats with a lot of guys. To be very honest, I've used um I would say every app that is available, because I was in
Mm-hmm.
advertising. I still am in advertising, but I was in an ad
Mm-hmm.
agency background. So I had this project of a dating app. So I tested and tried
Mm-hmm.
every dating app. And I was on the
Mm-hmm.
app and I used to see that, every guy out there, they just say the same thing, that I'm single, because that's the only reason they would be on a dating app, right? And you could be like,
Right. So because the reason why I'm
hmm,
asking, the reason why I'm asking is there are I think I'm guessing one or two ways you become a side chick,
yeah.
right? Like you become a side chick where somebody tells you they're single and you have no idea that they are in a relationship or whatever, and you unknowingly, like hook up with them or date them or whatever, and then now you're an, you know, non-participating side chick, so to say. You don't know you're being side chicked, right?
Yeah.
And the other way to become a side chick is where you meet somebody and they come clean and they're like, yeah, they're with somebody or they're not, and then you'll still
Yeah.
decide to act on whatever it is and that's a, you're a willing participant in that side chick business. So are you saying like a lot of guys in Delhi tend to pretend to be single online?
No, I think that's the other way around, because the thing is that, when a guy says that I'm single, and to be very honest, I've dated like a few guys from Delhi. And the only
Okay.
thing that I've faced here, like in Delhi and the city that I'm talking from, is Jaipur. So the only difference that I felt is that, people in Delhi are really upfront about it. That, okay, fine, I don't want to commit to anything. We'll just see where it goes.
Okay.
But here in Jaipur, people are like, they're reserved, they're concerned about, how people are going to see them. So they're like, let's see where it goes. Again, it's the same thing, but I feel like the dating scenario is more over the same. When it comes to a Delhi guy, I have dated a Delhi guy. I went out on like 5, 6 dates, and we had like, I literally have the text from that guy wherein he says that, the sexual compatibility is great, the mental compatibility is great. I could have the easiest conversations with you, but I am not there because my ex has hurt me to the core, and I'm not ready for another relationship, which is the biggest fuck of all.
Dude, I think, look, let me tell you something. Half those sentences in those texts were all bloody lies,
Yeah,
okay?
and you'll not believe, Danny.
Uh,
These are like, just imagine.
like sometimes I feel like there's a WhatsApp group or a Facebook
I
group
feel like we
where,
should make it,
like all the boys get, no, let me finish, where all the boys get together and they all say, okay, try this line and try this line. Like it just sounds so dishonest to begin with. Yeah, we click in so many different ways in all the ways, but yeah, just something that happened to me, like and it's so murky, isn't it, when people kind of hide behind the veil of trauma, like oh, that something happened to me in the past, but it's holding me back from going all in, but let me pretend to go all in
Yeah.
every way possible without going all in. Like if somebody has hurt you from the past, and that's fine, shit happens, then get over it, right, before you look for something else. You bring that big bag with you, and then you want to have all the joys that come with being with somebody, and then you say, oh no, but I can't go all in because this bag that I'm carrying. Then toss the bag out, right?
I mean,
I
so
think that's
sad,
bullshit.
because, like,
That's
you feel
bullshit.
emotional compatibility, you feel sexual compatibility, you feel all compatibility, and you don't want to commit to it. I mean, what's that bullshit?
Tell me something, Tina. Have you met guys
Mhm.
who straight up say, you know what, I'm in my early 20s, mid 20s, I've just started with my career and I've got all these things I want to do in life and I don't have time for a full blown relationship, but I still would like to go out on dates and maybe be non exclusive if I click with somebody, but that's the best I can do, but I'm not looking for anything serious. Do you have these conversations with guys you meet? Or is every guy out there pretending that they want to get serious with you just because they want to get laid?
No, so there are guys, okay, so I'll tell you that, like, very honestly, there are guys who tells me clearly that, I'm not looking for something exclusive. I just want to have no
Yeah.
strings attached. And I'm not that
And
person
you're
who
okay with
wants
that.
it. So I am very
You're
upfront
okay with
about
that.
it, that okay, you don't want it, and I really do want it. So let's just cut this conversation right here. And the saddest part about it is that you go on 5, 6 dates, and then you decide that I don't want to be non exclusive. When on the first date, I told you that, I am looking for something exclusive. I have done my casual shit in the past, and, everything that I had to do in life, I've done it. Now I'm settled in my career, everything, I'm sorted in my head. So I don't want anything that would ruin my mental state at this point in time. If you're not interested, maybe let's go out 2, 3 times again. Let's get to know each other. Maybe 2, 3 times more than that. Let's get to know each other. Let's understand if we are like on the same page, and then decide. And then they're like, okay, let's do that. Until 6, 7 date, I have seen this with Delhi, with Jaipur, every guy, that they'll do it for you. And then when you ask them that, where is it going? Even after Danny, trust me, even after 6 months, you ask them and they're like, no, I have this baggage from the past. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Then be a coolie, na. Don't try to be somebody's boyfriend. Then.
Yeah, just tell
Or like
people
don't
that I'm
date. Just
looking
be a
for
coolie.
sex.
Carry your baggage and go everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why people can't be upfront? Because, trust me, I feel like dating apps have spoiled everything these days. You have so many options available just in one click that,
But hang on a second. Hang on a second. I have another perspective as to why dating has become such a mess. Is because the demand supply
Mhm.
situation is heavily skewed in the favor of men. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like for every guy, for every average guy out there, there are probably like 20 really hot, amazing women.
that's true.
And for every hot, amazing woman, there's like zero point 0.5 man out there. Statistically. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
So what's happening is then like women are meeting a lot of men who are like, you know what, there are seven more waiting, and I can, they're all looking because the it's so weird because you meet a lot of women who constantly say the dating pool is so bad. Yeah, there aren't any interesting guys anywhere. And this is not just Delhi or Jaipur. This is all over the world. I have friends in London who are struggling to meet guys that they can be with. Like
Mhm.
I was talking to my friend once, and I'm like, how are you still single in London? Like that's a melting point, or like a melting pot rather of so many cultures and nationalities, so many interesting people. I'm surely she's like, Dan, it's sad. Like I got on a date, he says this first sentence, and I'm like, I'm not going out with this guy again. I know straight away I'm not going out with him again. So it is this sort of vicious circle where maybe men also now feel that I don't need to put in that much effort because the numbers are on my side, so they don't try as hard enough. You know what I mean? But just imagine if every hot amazing woman was getting lapped up right immediately, boom 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 boom, and the numbers are declining, and then you just got the average betties lined up over there after that, and
Yeah.
so then you would see men putting in more effort. So I think right now the problem is that there are, and you were right, the dating apps have caused this, because the internet, it will just come into your living room and tell you exactly where all these people are.
Hmm.
So yeah, but at the same time, I do feel that there are guys and girls and whatever out there who genuinely want a connection, like who genuinely want to be with somebody. And I've seen that with so many people I know that they've gotten into long-term relationships that lasted a few years at least, if not a lifetime.
Yeah.
But I've seen people go the distance. I've seen people go out a couple of dates and just fall apart as well. Like for me, this is my perspective on dating. Okay, I think dating is a lot like fishing.
That's true.
Okay, so I've been fishing ever since I was 6 years old. My dad would take me to the beach in Bombay, and we would go fishing, and that's how I fell in love with fishing, and I've been fishing ever since.
Yeah.
And there are many similarities, between the two.
Mhm.
Like so with fishing, like you have a rod, you have a line, you have your hook, and you put a nice bait on your hook, or you use a very flashy looking lure to get a fish interested, and then you cast your line out and you wait. Yeah, and you wait, and then suddenly you get a bite, and if you're lucky, you set the hook and the fish is on, and you're trying to reel the fish in. Now in most cases you will land the fish to shore and probably take it home or release it again. But sometimes as you're reeling the fish in, for whatever reason, the line may snap or the hook may come off or whatever, the fish escapes,
Mhm.
and then you feel that disappointment, but then that's fishing. And I think similarly that's what dating is as well. We're all bait.
Mhm.
We're all our own bait. We dress a certain way, we look a certain way, we speak a certain way, we smell a certain way, because we want someone to like us. We want that someone special to fall in love with us, and validate what we are putting of ourselves out there. And sometimes you get that bite, somebody's interested in you and they ask you out, and the hook is set and you're reeling them in. But somewhere along the third or the fourth or the fifth or whatever date or month, suddenly they realize, oh, it's not working for me, and that's when you lose the fish,
Yeah.
so to say, and then you then you have to go back out there, become the bait again. It's a thing. I've come to understand from my experiences that it's always half chance. It
Yeah.
could always go either way. You meet somebody, there are sparks straight away, and it could last maybe a day or a week, a couple of months. Sometimes it lasts years, but sometimes it just clicks and sometimes it just doesn't, and then you have to decide whether you want to like stop fishing or take a break from fishing and focus on something else, or keep trying.
Yeah.
you know like I always
Yeah.
say, like, if you're in your early 20s, just focus on your career.
That's so true.
Forget about all this.
You know,
Just focus on your career. Trust me, money is so much better than a boyfriend.
yeah,
Money is way better than a
yeah,
boyfriend. Like it's I've said this before as well. Like, relationships when you're really young are very emotionally draining. I think just stay focused on your career, make some money, and then see how you want to play it. But like, if you're someone who's also like, I don't know, I think, like, there's this thing, you don't know how to tell, right, if someone's genuinely interested. Like, one tactic, like, you could employ is not, hooking up until you're absolutely sure,
yeah,
like, till it's like somewhat official. I think these days everybody is in too much of a rush to undress each other, and
yeah.
kind of like they hook up really fast, and then once you get post nut clarity, like, bro.
You know, the
And that's just an
saddest part is
unfortunate thing with
mm,
guys.
the
Yeah.
saddest part.
Like with a woman, for
Uh-huh.
example, you look at a guy and you know straight away whether you want to sleep with him or not, right? Like, you take one look, 3 seconds, you're like, yeah, I'd hook up with this guy. But for guys, we have to hook up with you to find out if we
Yeah.
want to keep hooking up with you. And after that first time, when you have that post nut clarity, and heaven forbid it's like sending you the wrong way, then that's when they start saying, my ex did this to me. And
You know, Danny, I'll tell you, I have so in Delhi only,
mm,
I had this experience wherein I went out with this guy for like good 6 months. And those 6 months,
mm,
we were just so close, like just a kilometer away, wherein we used to like see each other like maybe 4 times a week or so. And everything was going great. Like it was so perfect. But then I feel like it's not about a guy or a girl. It's about a person for that matter. I have female friends who says that, I have my past relationship traumas wherein my boyfriend has gave me scars. And now I cannot commit to a guy. And similarly, the guys that I've dated, they say the same thing. So now I feel like girls also have scars, guys also have scars. Now, who are the people who are dating each other? Because when I speak to a guy, they
right.
say that I have a scar. Now, even if I put my Bumble, preference as a female, I'm sure there'll be a girl who'll come up to me and say that, listen, I have this scar with my past girlfriend. So it's not about a
Oh
girl or a
god,
guy.
this is so funny. This is so funny. Like, now we should have another option for relationship status, like
Yeah.
single, committed, scarred.
Scarred.
It's so
Scarred is the only, trust me, Danny, I would like,
everybody's scarred.
yeah, I think
So
99%
because
of the
that wasn't
people
a
are scarred.
thing, that wasn't a thing. Yeah, because that wasn't a thing with my generation, right? With my generation, we didn't have, the internet was just taking off, so we were damaged as well. We had our own scars, but we did not know we could use them
As an
to
experience.
get out
Yeah.
of not being in a relationship or committing to something. We never said scars. Like, our excuses were more like, my parents will not agree. Like, that
Yeah.
was that was the biggest thing. Like, my parents will not agree. Like, I'm Hindu, you're Christian, and they're veg, and you eat meat, and they think you're wild
Yeah.
and all that. I think I've been told this stuff. I've been told that we can't be together because my family thinks you're too wild.
What do you mean by
And I'm
wild?
like,
I
fuck
mean, girls
yeah.
today, these days, lies wild. So it's saying all these things.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like those were the excuses we would
Get at those
get.
people.
I had one like I had one girl who straight up told me, but this was like a breakup, like a few years like into the relationship, and she straight up told me like, Dan, I just don't love you anymore. Like she looked into my eyes and like, I don't love you anymore, and I was like, God damn. Like so I've had that. I've had like situations where I've gone on dates and it's going well, and after I think I got dumped once after the first date only.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Like
really?
what happens to you after seven dates happened to me after one date only. Like everything was great, and then like a week later I'm on tour, she messages me and she's like, listen, I think it was really nice seeing you and I had a great time, etc., etc.,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't feel the way I thought I would feel after the night we spent together, so I was just like, she had some post-nut clarity this time. So it happens
Yeah.
like, but I also feel like maybe, do you think like maybe it's because of the because of how old you might be? I'm not sure how old are you, by the
I'm
way?
26.
26, right? So you're probably dating in a pool of boys who've not yet become men, you know what I mean? Like they're still figuring shit out. Like maybe like, have you like tried dating maybe like a slightly older guy,
Yeah,
like
I
maybe
have.
people like 29, 30, 31, still
Yeah,
same?
35 also for that matter.
Dude, 35-year-olds also not committing, oh
Yeah,
no.
so these people are so I'm telling you, this is the only thing that I've
Damn.
heard from guys. And the saddest part about
Mm-hmm.
it is that, like you said, that, there are so many options available out there that even they have to make a
Mm-hmm.
slight adjustment, they won't do it because they know that, there are options available. We have great
Mm-hmm.
sexual compatibility, we have physical compatibility, we have conversation compatibility. The worst message that I've received till now is that out of 7 to 8 times that I've met you, the heat in the room is the great, which is like the sexual compatibility. I've never had the best sex in my
Mm-hmm.
life. I've never had the
Mm-hmm.
conversation that is so easy. And I've never seen a girl who has
Mm-hmm.
been working since she was 18 till like 26. And everything is
Mm-hmm.
great with you. But the only thing is that, I'm just not there.
Tell me something. How well are these boys doing with their careers compared to yours?
Um, I would say if I have dated 50 guys, for example, 40 are not doing great than me.
Right. So 40 are not even on the same level as you career
Yeah,
wise.
yeah, not. Even if they're older than me, they're not.
Okay. Do you think that's a factor? Do you think like your success intimidates them in any way? Have they shown any signs of like being intimidated? Because I hear this is a thing, like guys don't like dating women who are more successful than
Yeah,
them.
I mean, I've seen it. So earlier I was flying, like I was a cabin crew. So at that point in time, there was a thing wherein, it was like I'm so much out there internationally and nationally that I might have like, I don't know if guys have that complex that, she might find somebody better than me. And that was the always insecurity there because they always felt like that I am at a 20% level and she's maybe at a 70 or 60%. She has more accessibility to beautiful men out there and men who are earning same or more to her. So I feel like,
So was it, and this is all legit, by the way. This is all legit. The psychology of what you just said is
yeah.
very true. Not applicable to every man out there, but it is definitely like very, very true. This whole being intimidated by, it is intimidating to be around a successful woman. I would guess, like if
Yeah,
you
because
know.
even if today I tell somebody that I am at this position and working at this company, they would be like, oh, okay, so how long have you been working? And when I tell them that I have like good 7 years of experience in my life, they just like, I don't know, like they step back or I don't know what. But then I always tell them very upfrontly that listen, I've had my graduation and post graduation all distance learning. So it does not matter if I have a great work experience or not. You might have a better life experience than me. Because since 18,
So this
yeah,
this so this was so this used to be a thing like between you and maybe some of the guys you've dated. Like you spoke about the fact that you
yeah.
are probably more successful.
I no, I
Right.
have never
Oh, okay.
stated it like upfrontly, but then when a guy asks me that, what you do, because I feel like it's a very monotonous conversation, which is really sad about like dating apps and whatever that's available over the internet. Like if I talk to you, for example, I tell you hi, and with you, I'm telling five other guys or girls for that matter, if I'm a guy, that hi, hello, and whatever, that's like a very monotonous conversation. But if I click with you in a like second or third sentence, I would give more weightage to you. But it would come like, what do you do? And if I tell them that I'm at this position, they will be like, trust me, like I've matched with guys who are just doing their post graduation. And
They're still, yeah, they're still young then.
yeah,
Like, so you're probably selling your wares in the wrong market. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, but I mean, at 26, if I'm
Because
working,
okay, I'll tell you as a
okay.
guy. Okay, I'll tell you as a guy. I'll give you my experience, right? Like even at what I finished my MBA at 26, 27. Yeah, I was still so clueless at that age. And this was when I just started doing stand up. Yeah, I was quite clueless at 27 in the sense that I had like I you could say compared to what I've lived through and what I have seen and where I am now, I would look back at the version of myself at 27 and say that yeah, I was still wet behind the ears.
Mhm.
So I mean everyone's journey is unique, but I feel like there's a different curve when it comes to guys in terms of what they want to achieve and how they want to achieve it and how they develop in the process. So maybe that's also a thing.
Agreed.
But
But I feel like if I'm telling you, like, very upfrontly, that if you want sex, if you want a friendship, if you want a relationship, just be clear about it. It's okay. I can go out
I
with
agree.
you if I, vibe with you on a first date or second date or third date. I would
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
want to give it a try. Even I am not that person who would think about a marriage sort of a thing. And,
yeah.
I'm not looking for an exclusivity that, you commit to me and you marry me. No, I'm looking for such a person who could just be exclusive even for a certain period of time. At least be honest to yourself and me for that matter. Because, at any given point in time, I feel like there are a lot of men out there who are really successful at the age of 26 because I am surrounded by those people. So I know and I've seen in like all of these years there are people who are actually successful in their life and doing great in their careers. So I feel like at least be honest to that. If you say, let's see where it goes, and if you are going out with a girl, and that's the stupidest thing that I've ever heard in my life, with I think 70% of the guys that I've gone out with, they say that, everything is great, but can't do it because
But I
we're not
can't commit.
there. I mean, I just want to
So
know what's
what's what? So
there.
what you're saying is correct. So what you're saying is you're not as disappointed about this the situationship ending as much as you are about the excuse or the
Yeah.
reason that is being offered for why it is ending. So you're saying that if guys who are listening out there should just you're okay with the breaking up, just be more honest about why you're breaking
Yeah.
up.
I mean,
Is that what you're saying?
yeah, exactly. I mean, when I'm being really brutal about it, that, listen, I have my things to take care of. Now, situations are
Yeah.
changing. There's Gen Z coming into place. There is Gen Y, which is not even born yet. But still, they're being named Gen Y.
No, Gen Y is my generation, the millennials. We are Gen Y.
Gen Y will be
That's
born
the
now.
one that's not born yet is Gen Beta.
Yeah, so Gen Beta. If it's not
I can assure you that yeah, Gen Y is right here. We
okay,
are here
yeah,
in
so
the
you're
flesh
Gen
with the
Y.
biceps and everything.
I'm so sorry. So
Yes,
you're
I'm
Gen
Gen.
Y and Gen Beta is not born yet. And you are
So
telling
wait,
me,
but you're
yeah.
okay. Yeah, sorry. Go on. Yeah,
So you're telling
Gen
me
Beta is
that,
not born yet. Yeah.
I am a Gen Z or somewhere between Gen Z and Millennial. I'm a 97 born. So it's like I'm a between, like I'm a mid-generation person. I feel for Gen Z also, I feel for millennial also. And you're telling me that, when you come into a dating scenario, if you can't even express yourself, I'm okay with you being an old school person wherein you want a committed relationship. Even I'm okay with you telling me upfrontly and telling me that, I want a casual relationship, but let's see where it goes. If it develops into feelings, we'll talk about it and we'll see where it goes. And if it does not, we'll tell each other that it's not working out and this is why it's not working out. I mean, just coming up with the same excuse that my ex hurted me,
Right.
which is such.
So everyone's basically saying the same thing. I'm scarred.
I'm
I'm scarred.
scared.
I'm
I mean,
scarred.
men are blaming women. Women are blaming
And
men.
women are blaming men, and no one's really going anywhere with their
Yeah,
love
you
lives.
you'll never know. Like,
Damn.
I come up to you and say that, Danny, I'm scarred because my men hurted me. And some of your
It hurt
male
you.
friend
Yeah.
coming up to you saying to you that, my ex did this to me. You never know, right? I mean, male is also a bitch and female
Yeah.
is also a bitch at that point in time.
Yeah. Being an asshole is
Yeah, it's
gender
a
neutral.
general
Yeah.
human thing. You can't blame a gender for it. And coming up with
You know
such
what
an
I think?
excuse
Like
is
a
so
trend,
absurd.
I agree. I agree. And I think there's a trend I've observed with my generation. What's happening is people met previously, fell in love, got married, and now they're divorced. So
Hmm.
my generation has a lot of people who are divorced. So I joke with my friends. I'm like, all of us are going to be really hot, single senior citizens. Our generation, the millennials are going to be really hot, single senior citizens. And I think with the next generation after us, they are not going to probably not going to get to the stage of marriage also, because you all are going to just keep constantly swimming in this circle of I'm scarred, I'm scarred, I'm scarred, I have
Yeah.
trauma, I have trauma, you have trauma. Yeah.
What you'll do of trauma. So, like, I remember your stand up wherein you said that, you can actually talk about your parents also because they have also given you such trauma in your life at certain point in your time, because we belong, like you belong to
Yeah.
a different generation, I belong to a certain different generation. We have different mentality of parents, but still, if you
Yeah.
have a trauma from your parents, you now people are realizing that that's also called as trauma. That's not called as a family thing that you suffer now. If you talk about gen beta, which is not born yet, they will be very upfront about it, I'm sure. But then,
No, I think I think the best way to just like do this is just everybody just assume that trauma is a default
yeah,
setting. You are born, you have trauma, And I think as adults, people just need to figure their shit out, get the help they need, and then start dating. Problem is right now we are dating and we're dragging our baggage along with us while as we are dating, and it just creates this constant cesspool of pain and suffering. But I don't want to be very pessimistic about the situation as well. I do feel, Dina, based on what you've told me, that a lot of this is also probably a factor of where you are right now, both geographically and maybe career wise. I think a more wider expansion, which will happen obviously in the due course of your journey,
yeah.
will have you meet more interesting people and probably maybe then have more fulfilling experiences, so to say. And till that happens, I think it's absolutely okay to just take a chill pill and be single for a while.
Yeah,
Like, it is very easy to get jaded with society today simply because of how the world
yeah,
works,
I'm
whether it's
like
your love
really
life,
okay
career,
with
or
people
anything for that matter.
who come and tell me that, let's see, let's have fun. You know, Whenever you come back from your
Yeah.
work, we should have a good time together. And even if whenever you need me, I'm there. I'm okay with that, but don't lie at least. I mean, don't blame that other person.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I think we have to get to a point where you realize that that's expecting too much of people. Like, very rarely are people very honest and upfront about where they are in life and what they can bring to the table when they're dating you and not. Most often than not, we always find out much later. So, but you are in a unique position where you can hit pause for a while. Just don't date. Just focus on your career, and when the time
Yeah.
is right, you'll meet somebody who kind of wants to stick around.
Yeah.
Until then, yeah, just lock away the door. You know which door I'm talking about. Yeah, lock the door and throw away the key for some time. Like,
I have locked away
and
that door,
then
and I
see what
feel like,
happens.
at this point
Yeah,
in time, I feel like until and unless that person cannot understand that I'm sorted mentally. A lot of times it happens that
yeah,
girls are not sorted mentally, wherein they are maybe sort of looking for a job or doing a job that they're not satisfied with, they're not at a certain position.
yeah.
But what I feel is that I am at a certain position, I know what I'm doing, and everything is going great. And if a relationship fucks my career apart, I don't want to do that. So,
Exactly. So don't date.
yeah,
No,
I'm
that's what I'm
not
saying.
doing
Don't
it
date.
right
Here's
now.
here's here's
That's
what I
what the
think you
whole
should
thing
do.
is
Yeah.
about.
So here's what I think you should do. I think we're running out of time. Also, I can't. I'm going to be scarred if I keep talking about this for another 5 minutes now. But wait, here's how we can sum this up.
Yeah.
Okay, I think you're doing well for yourself. You made that very clear. You're in a good position. You're independent. You're doing well with your career. And now, if it works out, you're happy to share your life with somebody who wants to do that with you for the long run. Fair enough. But at the same time, you're meeting total jerks. Stay single for a while, focus on your career, and in the meantime, if you could, in 30 seconds, what would you like to say to all the men out there who are in the dating pool as you go?
So I feel like if you are at that stage wherein you really want to be exclusive in terms of not marriage, but in terms of being sure about that person, please be upfront about it and see where it goes. That's what see where it goes means. It does not mean like you fuck that person apart for like 4 or 5 months and then just go about it. But if you're sure about that person and if you feel like that I can go with this person exclusively, please do that. Unless if you feel like that I just want to just be clear about your emotions. I know it's difficult, but if you do it, I feel like girls out there, whatever friends that I'm surrounded with, and the females out there, I feel like this is a great message that please be clear so that you are
Yeah.
also not a bitch and the other person is also not a bitch in your story. So,
Yeah, and just to tie that up, yeah, that's
yeah,
enough. Just, just but just to tie that up, I think from my side, I would say that just be honest about what you want. Just be like, okay, I'm looking for something serious. I'm not looking for something serious. Don't even say let's see where this will go.
yeah,
The minute you say let's see where this will go, you're kind of giving the other person hope. You're leading them on into thinking that something serious may develop, and then that forms the basis of all the decisions they make with the whole dating. Yeah, I've had to learn the hard way. So I think just stop short of saying let's see where this goes. Just say very clearly upfront, I want to get married, so let's approach this from that perspective. Or I'm not looking for anything serious, let's approach this from that perspective.
yeah.
So I think that in itself will solve a lot of problems. I think we need to stop saying let's see where this goes, because you're misleading each other. Sounds good?
Sounds perfect.
Awesome, Tina. That is all the time we have today. Thank you so much for joining us on another really bitchin' episode of Bitch Please. I hope you had as much fun as I did.
Yes, I had a lot of fun.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you at a live show soon. Take
100%.
care. Bye bye.
Bye.